Welcome back, everyone, to Halloween Haunts 365. I'm Jared.
And I'm Terry.
And we're doing something different tonight. Parmesan chicken.
Yes, we are.
You thought I was going to let you get away with that, didn't you?
I did, but...
So we are committing highway robbery. I am stealing this show from friends of ours. They did it for their live stream, and I'm giving them full credit because they're joining us for this show. We got a couple people here.
Yes, we do.
What are we doing?
We are doing hot takes.
Hot takes. So,
With
unpopular opinions that we have about the haunt industry right now.
Yeah.
I'm starting off hot once we get everyone in here.
I'm sure you are.
Yes, I am. All right. So first, I'm going to introduce, let's bring them in here, Tim and Katie of the Tim and Katie YouTube channel. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. How you doing?
Good.
Fantastic. I stole your idea.
Okay.
It's not technically our idea. It's public domain.
Listen, I got it from you, so I'm giving you the credit.
It's cool. We inspire.
There is
each
going to
other.
be one that we just take from our own live stream, though. So
Yeah.
it all circles back.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. And we got one more.
One more.
We got right now Tim from Tim's Insanity. How are you doing tonight?
What's going on, good people?
Not much, man. Just about to have a lot of fun.
Uh-oh.
About to have a lot of fun. There was background music playing right there. I don't know how that got turned on, but ignore that. I don't even have background music. I don't know how to use this. It's our first time on StreamYard, guys, so we'll figure this out. But I like it. It looks pretty.
Yeah.
It does.
All right, so I'm just going to open this bad boy up.
Oh, boy.
We're going to rip this open. And make sure you subscribe to Tim and Katie on their YouTube channel and Tim's Insanity's YouTube channel and follow them on their social medias.
Yeah.
All right, are we
Those sound like good ideas to me.
All right, are we ready? Let's do this. My first hot take is fake screaming while you have a camera on you is not haunt content.
I feel slightly attacked, but go ahead.
You don't fake scream.
You don't fake scream.
No, we don't fake scream.
No, our streams are genuine, but I do get called on overacting sometimes.
Yeah,
which is
no,
really
no.
quite-
No.
No, the only
Let's,
time I
uh,
called you out on overacting, which wasn't overacting, was
Exactly, it
when we were on
was
the
not
death,
actually.
when we were
we're-
on Mickey's death wheel in California. That was not a haunt. That was a Ferris wheel.
I have a very jumpy personality, and
I don't think
when I run commentary, which is how we do our vlogs, like often we'll go through like Field of Scream's perfect example because we know those
No.
hallways. We know almost every actor in there most of the time. So you'd think it's difficult for us to get scared, but I'm jumpy. I just
I
go
don't-
through
Me
the house
too.
talking. It's
I
just
have never ever said you fake scream.
Listen, this wasn't even on my list until probably
10 minutes ago.
probably yesterday afternoon when I'm watching a YouTube video of two people walking through a haunt without actors. Oh my god! That's not haunt content. Sorry.
But that's gonna
Sorry.
play perfectly into one of mine for later, but I'm not gonna so just asterisk that.
So that's my headline. We're gonna start off with a bang, and it's just not. It doesn't do anything for the haunt. It adds to the like total, and if you're in it for that, cool. But it's not haunt content. Sorry.
I got nothing.
Are you?
I feel like I agree. I don't like overplaying. We try to be on. Like we're trying to be on. We don't want to be like. Let's be real. On our channel, if we think something went really badly,
We just won't talk
might
about
not
it.
just talk
But
about
if
it.
it's something that went really well, we'll be very positive about it. And if
but-
it's something that we don't think we can say anything nice about, we just won't
Yeah,
even mention it.
like-
we'll be like, "Oh, that was a thing
But
that we did." And
I definitely
Okay,
think
well, I
it's
can tell you now,
not
Jared and
gonna-
I are not those people.
But I agree. That's not. I would say it's not. It's definitely not great.
there's a
content.
handful of creators in this community that, and I know exactly the ones you're talking about, obviously, but there's more than one in the community.
There
that
is.
will roll through haunted houses and over dramatize a little bit, and I just I can see where some people might think that I'm one of those people too because of how I react to places I've already been. But the truth of the matter is just,
It doesn't matter. The air horn that blows at the beginning of Laurel's is always going to get me. It doesn't matter. I've walked through it 1,000 times.
I know where
I've
a couple of
always
the air
jumped.
cannons are now by just exposure. So like I will, but the thing of it is, knowing where they are, I try to like kind of sidestep them and deactivate them a little bit. And if I can't do that, it's still gonna get me because
Yeah,
it's just
but
It still gets me.
Yeah, and you guys are gonna jump, and that's the point of the thing. But I'm talking entire videos of oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, of shit they've been through.
And especially
give me a break.
when there's no actors.
Yeah, that the no actors thing.
yeah, it's a tough
Yeah.
sell.
Yeah, Tim, I started hostile. That's okay though.
Hey, look, you come out with the guns blazing. That's
I mean,
fine.
they're not called lukewarm takes.
No,
Nope. Hot
Yeah.
takes.
do you want? How are we doing this? Do you?
I'm, the way the screen's arranged would go. You guys are up.
Okay.
Just wing it.
So we have down, in broad terms, makeup over masks.
Dude, you stole one of mine.
I figure we might have some.
There's going to
overlap.
be some overlap.
Yeah, there's gonna be a rep. But I completely agree.
I have to flesh this out too because
Yeah.
there are some haunts that use masks. There's a way to use masks well.
Well, there's also just I feel like certain characters, like you're not gonna get probably a convincing like Krampus or whatever without some mask or whatnot.
You could.
know?
The Baltimore Krampus does a pretty good job.
Nah,
with
I guess, but
the
there's
horns
still
and the makeup.
yeah,
and
I
whatnot,
guess
but,
that's
that
real
like,
nice.
aesthetics will count.
but I
as,
see
like-
what you're saying. Like if you
Yeah.
need like Cthulhu in the maze, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
do some element of
But I do
mask.
I do think
This is not us yelling at a mortal mask. You guys do amazing work.
no,
It's just
but-
in the scene, makeup shines.
yeah. And you can the actor gets more freedom.
Hmm
You can hear them better if they have skit lines.
And it keeps them from overheating.
But if you're that was the thing. Like at Red Vein, they had really good masks and their actors were good, but they were dropping like flies because it was
Yeah.
a freaking it was
it was
we were
it
there
was a
in mid
randomly
October.
like 87-degree
It
night
was
at the
so
end of October,
warm.
and it was or at the beginning of October actually, but still for
Yeah.
the season that was real hot.
Yeah, so they were dropping like flies because they got so
I do
hot.
feel though, speaking of Red Vein, that Red Vein is one of the haunts that was using masks very well. Like there were a couple
Yeah.
masks in that maze, and it suits the environment because like most of it is corn maze at the beginning, most of it is kind of like it varies from section to section, but I felt like there were some bits that we caught on camera that I was like, that is a really terrifying mask in exactly the right place, and it got me.
And Darkwood used a lot of masks too, but
Used a couple.
they were all made on site. Like they were gorgeous.
Yeah.
And they really
And,
Candle
like,
Man.
that's the thing. I don't hate masks. They're fine.
Yeah.
They work. They do the job. But when you're in that fully enveloped scene, and then that makeup shines, like I always think. Right now, I'm thinking back to Laurel's and
yeah.
Mr. Frost.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
him coming out of that hallway, you can't do that with a mask
Yeah.
No.
because he even had glitter. He shined like
Yep.
it was ridiculous.
You also, with a mask, you lose the facial expressions, which kind
Oh,
of helps.
yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-mm. Yeah, you get stuck in whatever your mask is, and that's
Yes.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
So
I understand too the necessity of like when you're on a tight timeline and you got
100%.
like 10 minutes before, like we don't have time to get you all through makeup. We got to put a bag over your head, and that's
And it depends on who you have in that makeup room.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, some years you have a hard time with that, and I get
Yep.
it.
But
You
it does take the experience down a peg when you got too many masks and not enough full
Hey.
makeup.
You're getting no complaint out of me.
all
I
right.
guess we're gonna put Tim on the clock now.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's got.
Sorry, you didn't. Did you prepare an actual list?
No, Tim doesn't need
No,
one.
Tim doesn't
He
need
has.
one.
Oh!
I'm right, man. Look, man, I got an AARP card and the brain fat. And
It's to be honest, like you could have held up anything, and we just have to take your word that it's a list. It could have been like
one of the things that kills me, and I'm sorry, y'all, not really, those of you who do this, but we're going through a haunt and you got dirty damn clothes hanging. I can't running through dirty clothes. I'm sorry. It's one of those things. Why are you laughing at me, Jerry?
Because it's creepy and I like it, but I love how you skeeve out over it.
He does.
I understand the haunt fact. I mean, it's a cheap thing to do. It works for a lot of people. But I've been doing haunted houses since 1984. I've seen it. It's been done a million times. Can we try something different, please?
I can't argue with you.
No.
Can't argue with you.
But I like going behind him or, in front of him and the scene's there with the clothes hanging and you can feel him get skeevy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh.
It's gonna touch me.
I know.
And the one time he did get hit was a laundry room where he's
Right.
like, oh, damn.
That's where he tried to take out me and Yo.
Yep.
I got to a bath or something. I mean, I'm not a clean freak or anything. Yeah, I used to be a mechanic, so I don't give two shits about being dirty. But it just, how many thousand people walk through there? What am I touching?
I've never thought about it, but now I'm gonna think about it.
Right.
Is it specifically?
I'm gonna be
the
like,
laundry,
thanks,
or is
Tim.
it-
It's like the closet scenes where you see all the old clothes hanging.
Yeah.
Well, like
Yeah.
Field has one where you
Well, I was-
walk through it before the clown's room.
Yeah, and
They
so
do.
did Laurel in the town. But I was thinking about
Yeah.
at Red Vein where they have what's it called, like the plastic drapes down in the maze that we sent us through where the black and white clowns were hiding this
Yeah.
past year. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, well, that's
Like,
kind
if
of
it's,
like
like,
a
flagging-
plasticky.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm
drape, though.
asking is is it specifically like laundry or sheets or whatever, or is it just like anything that multiple
For
people?
Tim, I think it's just clothes.
Just clothes.
I guess because
No.
the clothes get
Because
they
in
can absorb
theory,
whatever.
anything that anyone touches, someone
Look,
else.
man,
has
you
to
had
touch,
some
right?
kid with lice in his head or some shit.
Oh, God, Tim!
Tim.
It's gonna be ruined.
I'm just saying. I'm okay because I don't have any hair, so it doesn't really make me any. Never mind. But I feel bad for everybody else.
I mean, I usually wear a hat.
I don't.
now you just freaked out Katie.
Now I'm
Hair
gonna
all
be-
up. I'm going to go through and go, damn it, Tim.
All right, this one I've actually made public many times before. Hay rides are 100% overrated.
Mm.
Mm.
Mhm.
I
You never
disagree.
get scared on a hayride.
I do.
No, you don't. You've never once screamed on a hayride.
Valley.
You've never screamed on a hayride. You
Jason.
scream in houses? No, you hid from Jason. That's not screaming. You've never got scared on a hayride.
I've jumped. Yeah, I guess not.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I think.
But they're so pretty.
Listen, they're absolutely beautiful. They're fun. I'll never not
You'd
do
rather
one.
walk them.
But I'd rather walk them.
Well, see, now you're adding stipulations to what makes it overrated. Because as a concept, I like the hayride. I don't always get scared on the hayride, but I
Okay.
enjoy the environment.
My thing is, I like scenes and detail.
Yeah.
And in a hayride, you kind of miss a lot of it.
Yeah,
Well,
100%. That's why you got to do it multiple
Think
times.
about when COVID was kicking, and we went to Bates.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
baby. That was the best Bates I've ever had.
Loved it.
You walked the Bates hayride. It was amazing. And it's so wide, you don't have to keep pace. If you want to stop, pull over, and look at something, you can. Because you're not blocking everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I never knew there was a TV in the motel part playing the movie.
Mm.
When I got to walk it, I did. They're beautiful shows. They've
Yeah.
spent a lot of money. I'll never miss a hayride. But what I'm saying is, houses are better.
Okay, I can
I
get
think I
behind that.
probably agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only because you're up close.
If we're talking
And-
about the value of it being whether they're scary or not, I would say probably less scary. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But as someone who still doesn't get super scared walking through, I do like haunts for the scenes and the atmosphere and whatnot. So
Listen, I will never miss a year at Reaper's Hayride as long as I can. It's the most beautiful show we've ever seen.
That is special.
It's probably easily the best hayride ever. And what they do is magical, but then you enter pitch black and run like little bitches.
Oh, I hate pitch black.
I hate it.
Tim normally is like right in front of me in pitch black. Tim's gone. He He teleports to the front of the line. I don't know where the hell he goes.
I look like the FTD man. And here's the deal. I'm not afraid of the dark. I mean, for goodness sake, man. You know, none of that, but it's just, I'm in there. I can't see. I grew up in the hood. So if something break out, who do I knock out first when you can't see a damn thing? I mean, mind you, we live out here in cornfield country or whatever, but you know, I got tendencies, and that pitch black worries me a little bit. But it works because it freaks me out a bit.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, you guys are up. Tim and Katie.
Well, this one is our carryover from our own live stream, and I think everyone here will agree with it.
Yeah, probably not much discussion.
Halloween Horror Nights.
Isn't scary.
Overrated as hell.
He's got another one of ours.
Yep.
Well, but see, you can expand on this, or you can choose to just nod your head in agreement with everything. I think we're on the same page. Sound loops, hate them.
Yep.
They can be used tactically in smaller independent haunts. We've seen them used effectively at Darkwood, where they're not loops, they're triggers. Someone comes up and voices over. But when it's the loops, everyone, all the conga lines, like everyone gets a different experience, and not all experiences are equal. You don't often get to go through more than once unless you're going to stay the whole night. And it's expensive as hell for the experience you're getting, which is not that great.
Yeah, they're way too short.
Yeah.
And they give away every scare because the strobe light starts before the effect starts.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
So it just gives it all away. Seats, the only thing I'll give HHN is their scenes are hard to beat. They're beautiful.
Yeah. Immersion,
they do that work.
100%.
But everything else, other than the party and the food, I'm good. I got haunts at home. Like Mom says, we got McDonald's at home. I got haunts at home.
It's also, like, to your point, we were talking earlier about how, like, often Universal will have media people out before the actual event starts, and they'll run through and they'll get the first shot at everything. Those videos are up next day, and their experience that they shot is going to be exactly 1-for-1 your experience. So you don't even need to go.
You're not going to fake scream through the whole thing, though.
Well, yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's going to be, what they see is what you're going to see.
Copy and paste. Like, it's going to be, there's no reason or there's no incentive to go unless you, like you said, the party and the food. Like, if you really want to try stuff.
The party, the food, and if it's a lineup that really hits your soul.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, if they did a Nightmare on Elm Street house, I'm probably getting on a plane.
Ooh.
But other than that, like, I've seen the, what do they call those maps?
The speculation.
Yeah, I've seen the early one. Yeah, I'm good. I'm totally done.
If I will tell, I'm. This is a hot take in and of itself. I was thinking if they were going to do Megan as a house, I would consider going.
Okay.
But as of now, that's not in the cards.
What I've seen so far is Terrifier. No shock there. And WWE.
Vomit.
This is what we're wasting a fucking IP on?
No.
You guys have so many movies we could pick from. We're doing WWE horror?
Well, technically nothing has been announced yet. So they
No, it's not announced, but
The only reason it's on a speculation map is
because there's rumors
somebody
to support
said
it.
something.
Yeah.
And
Was
also,
pitched.
I mean, as much as I like the music of the Weekend House, it honestly, as an IP, they did it twice.
They've done it
did
twice.
Hollywood and they did it in Orlando on different years, and I was like, man, I feel like we could have done a little bit more here with the budget that we have.
And my whole argument is, like, everyone really likes their independent houses, and they're beautiful, they're fun, they're a good time. But you're Universal.
Right.
Max out your IP. People want to walk through movies. That's why they paid the money. Like, we went because I wanted to walk through American Horror Story. Mm-hmm. And we did. I got to walk through The Shining. Awesome. I don't need to walk through your pirate ship. I got pirate ships at home.
This is a fundamental disagreement between you and me here over here, because I love the independent houses. I think
they're great. Listen, scenes are amazing, awesome. That was the craziest ship I ever saw in a studio.
And then too, right? That was an awesome house. But I'll also give it to you that, like, you don't book a ticket because of the independent house.
Right.
Yeah.
You book a ticket because one IP draws you there, and then while you're there, the indie houses are the ones that you come out like, that was actually...
That was better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
All right, Tim, you're up, brother.
This one is probably. This is touchy, sort of.
Let it blow.
Do we undo? I'm gonna swing for the no, but really, this one is. A lot of people have this issue. People, when you have actors that don't fit the scene, you got somebody. Billy Bob didn't fit over here, so we stick him over here because he didn't get along with this guy. Put the right people in the right scenes, and I think because to me it just breaks. It just mentally, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
You spent thousands of dollars to dress the scene, perform it correctly, or get rid of them. Like, it's that easy.
Most of these places today, even the small ones, they have people to do makeup and attire and all of that. Let the people fit the scenes, for God's sake. I don't want to see a farmer in a Nightmare Doll scene.
Yep.
I'm laughing in my head because I've seen it. I do.
It's as bad as saying boo.
Yeah. This is what I was trying to come up with.
Yeah, I remember that.
But you've said it better, because I was like, I think I started with clowns are used too much because there's clown but it really, I think you captured it better. Like a character that doesn't fit a scene takes you out of it.
Yeah.
So if there's a clown, in the slaughter barn or whatever, you're like, what are you doing here?
I mean, some people get it right all the time. And again, big shout out to Carlos at Harris, because when you go through Carlos's any of his attractions, everybody looks like they're supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's not that damn hard to do, people. It's not.
And I'm going to cut you off real quick because we didn't congratulate him while we were recording. Huge congratulations to Carlos for winning Best First Year Haunt at the Oscars, or the Oscars, whatever they call it.
Oscars.
No, but that was huge. He definitely deserved it, and I can't wait to see where they go from there.
Oh, yeah. So, yep, we get the right people in the right scenes, I think, and I think we'll be all right.
All right, so I should probably delete the ones that we have duplicates of.
Yes. That one.
It's reassuring to know we think alike, though.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. All right, I could completely do without animatronics.
Oh, that's one of ours.
Ooh.
But
well, kind of. We could.
But you know what? If it's set up correctly.
Yeah.
Like, because I fall for it. I'm over here looking at the animatronics, and then, just like Laurel's, there was that tall dude that scared the crap out of me.
Listen, I get that, but
if it's done correctly.
Listen, the top tier people who do this full time, this is their living, they make their money, spend that money on the animatronics, have fun. But if you're younger, you're like, 5-10 years in, you're trying to make that money, dress the scene, screw the animatronic.
Fair. That's fair.
Because Beautiful Sets is going to get me to come back more than your we know it's fake talking jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
There's a haunt that shall remain nameless that went out and spent, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars on high-end animatronics, and the actors sucked.
Mm-hmm.
The two that they had.
Is this the one we were talking about the other day, Jared?
Yep.
Okay. I have not been, but I know whereof you speak.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's me. They're pretty, they're impressive, they're fun, but if you're 35 years in and you're making all that money a year and you want to do that, have fun, because you made your name, you're there, cool. But if you're starting out and you're building, the 30 grand for that is 7 new scenes.
Yeah.
Just say.
I'm gonna, unless you have something to add to that.
Nope, I'm good.
I'm gonna take that one that you just gave and jump our list down a little bit, because we got something kind of similar, and I think it can just build on that foundation you laid. So what we had was, if you can build it yourself, you should.
Yeah.
And the way we looked at that was the exact same logic path of, like, we really want to see more actors and less animatronics. And it also comes down to keep going back to Red Vein, like they have what they lovingly refer to as actor-matronics, which
Mhm.
are partial animatronics they built by hand and partially controlled by puppeteers and actors. And Field does the same thing with like the big snake and the Hayride and whatnot. And we're
Fright Farm has some too.
Fright Farm has some great ones. Yeah, the big rat. Yeah, we love those. Like those are super cool, and they get good scares because, just as Terry was saying, like you use them tactically, you position them in such a place where they draw the eye, and then an actor or a scenelet can get you by focusing your attention one way and then popping up behind you. I think it's done really, really well. But
no, you're right. And I got some special privileges thanks to Troy from Terror Tours. I got to go to Dark Hour, home of Alan Hobbs. I mean, if they can make it, they make it, and it's not that they don't have the means; they have the means.
Yeah.
But they make, dude. I saw a full coral reef made out of coffee filters and plastic bags, and I had no freaking idea they were coffee filters until I was told what it was, and then I still had to go feel it because I didn't believe it. And we didn't even have the haunt lights on.
Oh my!
It was shop lights, and they still, like, the plastic bags look like jellyfish tentacles. 100%. I had to go up and feel. I'm like, that is like a ShopRite bag. And they are coffee filters. So yeah, 100%. If your team's there, make it.
Yeah.
I think Markov's is another good example.
I was gonna say, like the standout example for sure is Markov's, like how much they do on their, and there's to my knowledge, and I didn't see this one last year, but in 2023 when we went for a tour, they had like the werewolf actor-matronic, same thing, but they built it from scratch. Fright Farm had the Yeti that they built from scratch. Like leveraging animatronics in such a way that it fits the scene, but also they build the whole scene around it so that the actor-matronic works. So if you just, to your point, you just throw an animatronic in a corner and expect it to do the job for you, it's never going to be as effective as
a little kid or something.
Well-lit scene that you built from scratch, plus or minus puppets.
There you go.
We haven't argued yet. That's weird.
That's coming. I got one on specifically to start fights.
Oh man!
All right, Tim, you're up.
Okay. This one's gonna get me in trouble, I think. All right. Let me give my personal opinion first of all.
Here we go.
I don't give a crap if these people are there. I don't, because I think they can add some entertainment value, some artistic value to a haunted attraction. But my worry is this: when you got small kids and you're going through a haunted attraction and you got queens in there, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a hot take, but I'm just not sure how it plays with the kids. I guess is my thing. And I won't turn it into an issue because it's really not for me. But it's just, I don't mind them being there. I think it's interesting, actually. I mean, when I DJ'd back in my heyday, I DJ'd at clubs, but that was the normal. But I'm just wondering, with kids, young kids, I don't know how it plays well. But
I mean, I would argue that the haunt industry as a whole isn't actually geared towards kids.
Yeah.
So
that's a fair statement.
Yeah. The
That's
assumption may be that kids are not going to be trafficking the halls quite as often as adults, but also, I mean, more and more kids are coming out for haunts these days, and I feel
but the kids are also sticking to certain haunts, if you notice.
Right.
Because we all know the ones that are, heavy kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, Bates is full of little kids. Valley gets a ton of little kids. More than I've ever seen in a haunt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think if you know your audience, you're good.
And I think that's the issue. Like, I've heard people talk about it, which is why I'm talking about it. Again, for me, I don't care what you do. I've been to the haunted hoochie because it's nothing you can. Been to the hoochie and I survived it. But I've heard parents say that they had issue with it. So
I kind of feel like that's on the parent.
Yeah.
Right. I was just going to say that.
Yeah, if the parents have an issue, if they're fine with bringing their 6-year-old around and seeing a completely like
Devastated
dismembered
corpse.
body
Yeah.
hanging from a wall, but
Right.
then they go around the corner and they're like, oh, that person wearing makeup disturbs me. It's like, maybe
Yeah.
that's a conversation.
I
they
feel
need to
like
have
you
with their
can't
kid.
really pick and choose. I mean, not every place, obviously, but most places you sign a waiver letting you know like this is going to be what you're generally going to be exposed to. And if there's anything in that waiver or anything on the website or anything in the YouTube videos, which you can usually watch from the year before from channels like Tim and Katie and the rest of us.
Yeah, there's a lot of review outlets now that you can pretty much know what you're walking into before you walk into it.
See what you're comfortable with. I don't think you should buy a ticket and then complain afterwards about.
I've heard people complain about the hoochie, for example. I mean, and they warn you over the top. Don't bring them little snot-nosed kids in here. This is not for you.
Yeah.
But and again, for me, I have no issue with it. I don't care what
me
you
neither. Have fun.
It's like
we had a when I scare acted at Laurel for the Christmas Nightmare this past year. There was a family that came through and a kid who had like headphones on. It's obviously, by the way they're talking and moving, kind of special needs.
Okay.
And I felt bad, like, because I'm dressed up to like terrify people, and I come up and this kid very bravely says to me, "Friend, not foe," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, so I mean,
that was a plant. Mandy got you.
But like, I mean, some kids know what they're getting into, or their parents prepare them.
I think so. Like but I mean, I remember just hearing a parent. They were standing beside. I was actually, and like I didn't know, and I don't know. I mean, you should know. I mean, what do you expect? You take.
Listen, every haunt website says what? 13 and under at the least.
Yeah.
Most do.
Right.
And at 13, you know what's up. So I mean,
you would figure.
You'd hope. Yeah.
Yeah, you hope.
Not always, but you'd hope. I know some adults that are more terrified of haunted houses than some kids.
Yep, without a doubt. So I'm going to drop, this one isn't really a bombshell, but this is, a lot of people argue with me on this, but good actors with basic sets will beat beautiful sets and bad actors every single time.
I can get behind that.
That is, I like that.
Distracted. Did you say bad sets with good actors over good sets with bad actors?
Correct.
Okay. I
like that.
Yep. Actors are the heart and soul of every haunt.
Yeah.
100%.
Is about 25 to 30% of what makes a haunt good.
Yeah. And you can have, we've been on barren trails with nothing. The actors were great. Mm-hmm. So it was good. We've been in $100,000 sets and the actors were shit. Really tanked the haunt.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, that was kind of our Penhurst experience. Because we were walking through.
I was going to try to avoid mentioning it by name.
But sorry. But Penhurst doesn't have a reputation. It has a good reputation.
No, yeah, Penhurst is well known for delivering an awesome experience.
Yeah.
And we went on Halloween weekend when obviously.
Oh, yeah, it's too late.
It's too late. Yeah. Like that late. And we knew, to be fair, we knew that going in. Like we knew at that point, a lot of actors are burnt out. They've been scaring for a month and a half at least. Some of them are tired, getting sick, not showing up for shift. Like there were areas that were stuffed with actors that we thought were great. Yeah. And then there were areas where they were wholly reliant on large, and the animatronics, for what it's worth, were amazing. They were awesome to look at. They were huge. The scale of the rooms was incredible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we were unimpressed.
No.
But we did miss the actors.
Yeah.
In some of those films.
And you'll find with the bigger ones that are open usually all week during the end, you know, the big ones do that. They open 7 days.
They get burned
so
out.
You're going to have a lot of call outs. So that giant baby animatronic you see in there, there's normally an actor to jump out at you like loud and scare you jumped right after that because you love that giant baby.
Yes.
But if you're missing that actor, it's just a giant baby.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened is that the giant baby stood up and there was nothing underneath it.
They did deliver, like, because I was unsettled. I was like, someone's going to come at me. And it never happened. And I was like, okay, well, I was scared because it was a good atmosphere. And don't get me wrong. There were some really good, like, I still love, like, in the tunnels, there's like a long hallway that's just fog, and
Yes.
and that is just so unsettling. So it wasn't by any means a bad experience. It just was kind of like, yeah, we just walked away like actors definitely make a haunt.
It also, when you have, and this might not be the standard Penhurst experience either, but when you have the conga lines with people moving just constantly through it, someone moves slow, it slows down the whole experience for everyone else. So
I'll give them credit.
Trying to get through there, and we don't know who's actors and who's not, but the tunnel in particular, the prologue, as it were, is definitely lighter on actors as a whole. Yeah. So what it wound up being was us being like, okay, I guess we're in it, and then walking.
No, I was talking about the tunnel. I wasn't talking about the catacombs.
Oh, you're right.
I was talking about the tunnel and the.
Yeah.
I forget that
with
they're two things that are similar but very different.
Because that was in the tunnels where you got like separated from me, and in the fog, I was like, "Well, he's gone."
You're correct.
That was me.
Good. The catacombs were a little bit
atmospherically good, but we needed more actors.
Yeah, actors, 100%.
Yeah, and I hate that Penhurst has to do the Congo lines, but towards that time of year, they don't have a choice.
Yeah,
when you got that many,
and it's not even just Penhurst at that time of year; they all have to do it.
Yep.
Because people wait to their last
wait
minute.
till that last day that they're open.
I mean, we just bought tickets because we wanted something to do, and also because we know a couple of Penhurst actors and makeup people.
I mean, at that point, sometimes it's the only time to check something out.
Yep.
Oh, we know. We're in there with you that time of year.
All right, now this is one I think.
Oh boy, how come every time he talks I get nervous?
I mean, I'm not taking off my clothes for God's sake.
Yeah, that's all right.
Damn.
There's many ways to get canceled.
If I didn't get canceled yet, I don't think it's happening.
You can cancel people who care. I don't care.
Yep.
But something that you guys were talking about, like line management in general, I have it here. You know, there's some places who haven't. I guess they failed in the line management.
Mm-hmm.
And it just jacks you all up so bad. I mean, you got Markoffs and others, Reapers, who do a great job with it. Lee Heighton does. But then you got some, I guess they just don't learn. They just corral you in and you stuck at everything. And it's got to be an easy way to do this. And
can I say something?
Go for it.
Hi.
I have to give a shout out to Terraform because they learned from line management issues and they went to the queue system. And what a difference it made from the first time we went there, where it was just you were in this long line for like an hour or two versus, okay, here's food, here's drinks, here's music, hang out and here's your number. I don't know if they got that from Markoffs or what, but what a huge difference it made in our experience at Terraform.
It's a big deal, and I don't think it's a hard problem to solve. It just takes a little time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Markoffs is completely out of the woods with that yet. It's nice being able to enjoy the midway, but once you go to that town, it could be there could be 10 or there could be 15,000 people in that line.
And that's because the town does not have the virtual queue system. They don't call you by group.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
The other thing is, and I was going to touch on, the other thing is I was going to touch on what made Markoffs unique in this industry is that their midway is flawless. Like on the midway, you hit that ground, you can run around, you can watch the fire dancers, you can go up on the rolling log, you can go do the blind maze or whatnot. Like there's so much to do there that you don't mind waiting for an hour or a half if they fall behind.
And they've grown it.
Yeah.
They've constantly put new things there.
So I think if they add a second queue to the town, it can help. Because then you can enjoy the midway even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's more money going towards food, shopping, you crazy people going up the log. I mean, I think if they did that...
Again. I'm not going to do better the second time.
No, I'm definitely afraid of heights. That shit ain't happening.
I'm not going up there. You couldn't pay me to do it.
Mm-mm.
All right, so that was you, right, Tim?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Blackout mazes need to die.
Oh.
The strobes.
But then you have pitch black.
Pitch black isn't a dark blackout maze. There's shit in there.
What the hell is it then?
There's different.
What is it then?
There's different textures. You're getting hit in the face.
Oh, I had
there's
no idea.
No. There's actors in there. There's all kinds of stuff in Pitch Black. I'm talking your stupid feel around haunts. We don't need them anymore. Design your sets.
Where it's just nothing really going on but pitch black.
Wait, is that like because
Okay,
the whole
okay.
thing is like
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
Wait. So are you
I've never-
talking about like you're not talking about like the sections in fields attractions where you have the strobes going off?
No. Those are fine.
You're
I'm talking. You got to feel your way out of the haunt.
You're talking about you have a scene. You have a scene.
All right,
and
you're
then
gonna
they
make me
throw-
call this out. The attic at Frightland. That type of haunt where there's nothing.
Right.
Or
it's like a plain black
That's a boring
indoor
walkthrough.
walkthrough with walls. That's it.
That's a boring walkthrough. I know
Yeah.
that one.
I know what you're saying.
I kind of feel like they are dying, man, because I didn't even know.
I find them all the time.
Then they need to
I
die
haven't been
faster.
through one of those since like a church youth group. Like
They're out there, bro. Trust me.
Because the only thing we've ever done like that was that like see no evil thing at Markov's where
But
you
it was unique in the fact in the way that they did it is you're following the rope and did you guys do that one at Markov's?
Nah, I don't.
no.
I'm good.
it's not for it's
We did one
certainly
a while
not
back
based
somewhere
on
else.
experience.
The rope thing.
Oh yeah.
Where you follow the rope but there's multiple ropes and you basically have to like
but
separate
it's
at
not
one
but
point.
it's not like the whole attract like you first of all you can it's extra so you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to do it but it's also not the whole attraction.
Correct. Yes. It's an actor heavy experience too. They fuck with you all the way.
Oh yeah, no. That's complete opposite of this.
Well, that's
Like
not what
like
it's all about.
like Pitch Black at Reapers is an event. There's sound, there's scenes, there's textures, there's shit hitting you in the face, there's chainsaws going off in your face in
And I
the
like
in the
none of
dark.
it.
Yeah, so I'm talking just you're boring, you can't see anything, and you got to feel the plywood all the way through.
No, I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
pretty
I hope
lazy.
Not in this industry.
So all it is just like you're in the dark.
Yeah, and some haunts have multiple of them.
Why?
'Cause I
It's
think
like a waste of
because
money.
it's easy. It doesn't cost anything, and
100%.
Right.
But then again, it's a waste of money.
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say lazy, but
I'm saying lazy.
I did.
Kind of
That's
feel
what it is.
That sounds
Feels
lazy.
lazy, yeah.
It sounds lazy. Yes.
Like if you're gonna make one section, like you crawl through. If you're doing the crawl through the crawl space at Field, like I feel like that's fine. It's just
I
That's
like
fine. You have to,
Right,
like,
that's
you're crawling
something.
though, so it's different.
yeah.
I'm talking like the entire attraction is just like, here
Find
we
your way
go.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree that.
See,
I mean, I absolutely agree. I
I
just
feel like
literally
the
didn't know
industry has grown past
that they were still doing that.
Oh, they're all over the place.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm done with them.
sadly.
I would be mad if that's what the whole attraction was.
Yolanda, do you want a chair?
I went to the gym. I'm good standing. I need to
Okay.
sit.
Fair enough.
yeah, but it's one right there. But
Nah, I'm good.
You guys are up, Tim and Katie.
All right, you want to fight, Jared? I'll give you a fight.
Let's go.
Fighting about-
We're gonna
Oh,
fight.
you were going out of order on our list.
We're mixing up the order here.
All right,
Okay.
gloves off. I have no idea which one he's talking about.
It's the one that I talked to you about the other day. Where is it on the list? Though?
I don't know.
There it
You
is.
keep scrolling.
So I phrased this in such a way that it wouldn't start a fight, but let me expand on it so that we have some arguments here. What we put down was haunts without actors aren't really haunts. But what I meant by that was also boardwalk haunts and walkthrough haunts that do not have actors throughout, not haunts by the modern standard.
But this is where the industry started.
You're
They're
making up
haunts.
rules. You're making up rules to provide reference.
I'm not making up rules. I was there in the fucking 80s. This is what we had, bro.
So
Tim, will you tell him this is what we had?
that's all we had.
are we talking prop shops or
Like old. You know what he's talking about? Up in Jersey, there were a couple on the boardwalk, and that one down in Ocean City.
oh yeah,
They
yeah.
really considered dark entertainment.
Yeah.
Probably a haunted house.
Castles.
Right.
Yeah, like
then this
I love
would
them for what they are.
differentiate.
Don't get me wrong. Like
But that's where the haunt industry started, so they're haunts.
that's fine, but you can't judge them by the modern standard.
We went in tourist haunts that had actors. Is that
You know
not a
what else-
haunt?
You know where else the haunt industry started?
Wait.
Was black mazes, blackout mazes.
Wait.
He's got a point. He's got a point, Jared.
Dang,
I'm
he got you by
trying
the
to
root,
reconcile
Manny,
this
son.
because
Nah, I'll die on this hill.
I'm pretty sure you had said that I could get rid of animatronics altogether. You should
Yeah.
have for actors, but then then by your standards, none of these are.
We had actors in there.
Okay,
They just wore white face and had a little red on their cheek.
Right.
That was it. That's what we had.
Okay, so if there's one actor in there,
if
it's a haunt.
you all right, so I want to be clear.
See, that's what I'm trying to get at, because we had actors.
We're not going
Like-
by what it was like in 1984. We're going by what it's like today. Like if you jump on a ghost train at Ocean City and zip through, like that's not a haunt, man. You can.
If you're on the ghost train, that's a dark ride. That's different.
That's
well,
a dark ride.
yeah, Ghost Train, Spooky Castles, House of Frankenstein at Lake George, amazing attraction. We went through twice. We paid for it both
What
times.
about-
Loved it. But
What about the
no actors, no haunt.
What about the haunted house at a carnival that doesn't have any actors in it?
Yeah,
See, the
you
ones I went to, no, those are dark rides.
Yeah. They're all
Even
dark
you-
rides.
But tell me where the distinction
But you
is,
it's like a
man.
fun house, but it's got a spooky theme, and like Frankenstein's head pops up or something like
I
that.
Dark
feel
ride.
like you're wearing a
Yeah,
rose-colored
I
nostalgia
agree. That's a
glasses on
dark
this one.
ride. That's not a haunted house.
I mean, it's hard. Look, it's hard to judge the 80s, for example, since we're there, to today. It's just
Yeah.
you can't compare.
the technology is totally different.
But I do compare.
There are, to be fair, I'm gonna give you a prime example. The Haunted Mill. Well, it's Kim's Crypt Haunted Mill now, but before it was just Mangus Mill. I went there in the 80s when Old Man Sterner was still alive, and it was creepy as hell then. It's creepy now. It's just slightly updated. So
Yes, but you have to realize also that I'm almost positive that place is haunted.
oh, it is.
So
It is. It
it's
is.
one thing when you have a place that's actually haunted, and I'll say like Penhurst and the haunted the Mingus Mill and all that, because things are going to touch you, and they're like, oh well, there was no one there. We're like, yes, it was. So
don't
I think you have to differentiate those two. Something that is put up to be a haunted attraction, clearly put together to be a haunted attraction, no known history of paranormal activity, versus something with known paranormal activity. To me,
But-
it's like a different category, I guess.
To me-
I mean, I
And if you really want to get technical on this, because we did a show about the history of the haunted attractions.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, they started in the 1500s as little theaters.
Mm.
So really, anything dressed, so even dark rides fall under haunted attraction category.
They do. But
technically, but you
So
can judge
they're
everything by
haunts.
standard. If
I
you
mean,
judge
but
everything by
our the standards are different now, yes.
Wait,
Yeah.
But growing up in this shit, dude, it tugs on your nostalgia. To me, they're always going to be haunts.
Okay, think of it in terms of like how the culture changes and comedy changes with it. Like it's something that a stand-up comedian said in 1979 versus something they say today. You might look at it as an audience in two different times and say that's really funny, or that is not comedy at all. And where I'm at, it's like these aren't haunted attractions anymore.
relative
These
to
are
today, I got you.
fun things to walk through.
Clearly, there's a generational difference here between the three.
Yeah. And
Yes,
that's making it entertaining.
babies.
Yes, there is. I mean, we're all different ages, but also like there's eras that
I
are
agree.
set by time, not by the people who live in the
well,
time.
look, as someone who enjoys history and the origin stories
not
of
saying I
things,
don't.
I'm not saying you don't
Sure,
either,
sure.
but if you know,
He just chooses to ignore them. That's
are we
okay.
good? Like, you know,
Damn.
we can't. Are we gonna say that like just because one of the oldest like theme parks or amusement parks in the world had only had 3 rides, but is it not an amusement park anymore just because parks like Cedar Point exist that have so much?
No, it is an
no.
amusement. It is an amusement park because nothing about the experience has changed by the modern definition of an amusement park. Whereas by the standard, the modernized definition of a haunt, you expect more.
But the modernized definition of a haunt is only because you didn't see before.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say this.
I didn't author this hot take, so I don't.
For me, I told Jared
I'm Switzerland on it.
I think all fairness to say a 2025 haunt, what are the expectations? Like you said, versus a 1984 haunt.
This is what I want to hear. Go for it, Tim. 2025 haunt, what's expected?
2025 expectations, it's got to be flooded with actors, it's got to have immersive world building, and it's got to be scary-ish.
Okay. Here, I'm going to have you go to the Conover Killings. He'll let you vlog. He'll let you do whatever you want. There isn't a scene in this entire fucking park, but you're going to scream.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That could mean anything, man.
There's no dressing.
I don't know if we're still gonna. Wow. I mean, I'll do it for sure. Come at me, bro.
You have to tell the owner that he doesn't have a haunt.
You know what?
Anyone that they don't have anything.
However, a whole hour on.
But my point is, there's no real answer to it.
But I like his thought process.
But it's very subjective. So
yeah.
I can respect what Tim is saying, that in 2020.
Oh, I totally get it.
Technology, the all kinds of new and unique variations that they're putting on haunted houses versus 1984. I mean, think about Back to the Future. I mean, literally. So it's subjective, and I respect what he's saying. I can respect.
But I like the thought.
The expectation
makes you think a little bit. I like that though.
And I also, like, to Katie's point, and this is something that I literally said to Jared the other day when we were actually fighting over things. It's the same to me as comparing, like, to go to a state fair and call it a theme park. Like, today, if you know the theme park industry, you think, like, Disney, Universal. Sure. And then you go to a state fair and someone's like, isn't this a great theme? It's usually your grandma. It's like, isn't this a great theme park? And you're like, no Grandma, this is not what I would call a theme park.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I don't know. It actually made me. So once upon a time, before when in the house I grew up, we were gonna finish the basement. It was a huge basement. We used to like roller skate down there and stuff. So to celebrate or send it off, the Halloween before the renovation was gonna start, we put a little haunted house in down there, and I kind of like by Jared and Tim's definition. That Tim, not this Tim. That made for a night, there was a haunt in my basement.
It's what we call a home haunt, but that was
there were actors in there. I was one of them.
It qualifies according to
it qualifies.
Yeah.
It was dressed. It had an actor. And it was somewhat scary.
Yeah,
an actor.
There had some friends in there.
There you go. Multiple actors.
Yeah, and it was a great bargain because it was free.
So, my favorite price, free and discounted.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. I appreciate haunted attractions on every level of this scale, but I appreciate them differently. I see home haunts as being in a different category from a screen park and from established 30-year haunts.
Maybe the definition is not what is a haunt. It is haunt and then subcategory screen park.
By
paranormal experience, subcategory home haunt, subcategory dark ride.
Those tiers exist. But by everything you said about your home haunt, that also is technically, it can be judged by my standard because it had actors, it had the immersive environment, so now would it be very good in comparison to some of the other places we've been since? No, but
see, then you can get real picky and really break down different home haunts. Because technically, what's that place we went to? Is in the guy's front yard.
Oh, his backyard.
I know exactly the one you're talking about. Everyone is talking about.
Yeah, the one we went to.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're thinking Devil's Last Laugh?
Yes.
That's a haunt. That's not a home haunt.
I would consider that a home haunt because we really built
right. No, the home haunt that we went to after
Curly's haunt.
Curly's. That's a home haunt.
That's a home.
Remember that one Heather's horse walk? Whatever the hell that thing was called. It was the horses and crap.
It was in what, Columbia, Maryland?
No, further up than that, but out that way. But they had a horse farm, and they ran a little haunt behind the house.
Oh yeah, that's where we met Fuzzy Dogs.
That's correct.
Yes.
We would walk through this thing. It was the horse trail behind
But
our
that
house.
was not a home haunt because it
You don't
was
think so?
outside. It was a long walking trail. When I think home haunt, I think of, like Katie was saying, something in somebody's basement or somebody's house.
Tim, help me.
Literally, that's a home haunt. Home
Well,
haunt.
Tim just said
I
if
mean-
it didn't take place in someone's home, it don't count.
Okay, all right, fair.
And I don't
Then-
know.
I think
Then-
it kind of gets into semantics. I think we need to like have a sit down. Jared, this is gonna be the next live stream where we just define each tier of.
Yeah.
every-
But that's the thing about this whole industry is there's no defining tier.
Definition.
But
Right.
I mean, you want to look at home haunts? Let's go look at home.
Because like if you were to say a haunt is a home haunt just because it's at a dude's home, you go to
Yeah.
Devil's Last Laugh. That's a real attraction.
Yes.
No.
It's not a home
That's a 20-minute walkthrough.
In their house.
Right. But it's on his land.
Right. He just built it.
It's
on
basically his garage.
Outside. That's outside of the house.
I know. Listen,
Wait, are y'all in agreement that Devil's Last Laugh is or is not a home haunt?
is not a
It
home
is
haunt.
not.
Home haunt.
Okay.
I mean, it's got
Because all
this
the Instagram
big
posts
building
literally use the
outside.
word home haunt. So
Technically,
now
they're-
to be fair.
Nah, there's no. It's a professional attraction, hands down.
we got
That's
some
just
things
the
to go
internet.
this October, I guess, because we're never going to settle this with us being on the outside.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
looked at
20-minute
home
full
haunt in
asylum.
someone's house.
Then they just added some additional
Huh?
stuff there.
Coffee.
What?
And they just added some. They just added something else.
No, he's changing the entire thing. I
Is
think
that what that is?
because he just rebranded it.
To what?
Isn't he adding something?
The woods is coming, but it's not going to be here this year.
Yeah. I forget what it was called.
Yeah.
It's like you're lost in a town or something like that.
Hmm.
So it's not Waxville.
No, it's not Waxville anymore.
no.
All right, so I got to time manage here.
Where's the buzzer?
All right, Tim's Insanity, you're up.
I'm already dead in the water. Oh, okay. Corn walks. I don't give two shits about them.
Oh no!
I don't. I understand it's a little bit of a fill space between attractions, and especially when there's no actors.
That I will agree with.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the
But
actors that sit there on their phone or having a conversation and
Listen.
pointing at you, to say, "Ooh."
They can have 400 actors in there. They're still ineffective because you hear every fucking step they make. Tear the corn down.
But where do we go with the corn and you added the fog and the little lanterns and it was a whole different
That's
effect.
Markoffs. They're a different. That's not a corn maze. That's Markoffs.
rules again.
I'm not breaking the rules because it's a 4-minute corn maze for
And
the
you don't-
beginning of the
at
town.
Markoffs, you do not hear the actors
No, you
coming
don't.
at you.
Hey, just a heads
I
up,
think
guys.
that's just a little intro.
It's called
I
Darkness
like-
Has
okay.
Fallen, by the way.
I like
Yeah.
the corn though. I think yes, if you're not doing it right, or if the actors are using it as a place to hide and look at their phone, I think we can all agree that's bad. But when I walk through the corn in the dark and I hear that like little rustle, I'm like, ooh, what's that? And
I'm
then
not. I'm like, there he is right there.
I don't. But
I heard him.
Well, as long as you
Yeah,
don't.
I
see
have
them.
to admit, most of the time through corn mazes, nobody gets got. I mean, I don't, because I'm automatically, like, you can tell that there's a person.
Now I have to be
Now,
fair.
to be fair to you guys, and the Markov situation, there's corn mazes, and then there's attractions in the corn. Because some of them will have scenes, some of them will have trailers, some of them have different scenes outside of the corn, and they just use the corn for a barrier.
One that
So-
comes to mind is Legends of the Fog in Maryland. I think theirs is entertaining.
Well, and they do have multiple buildings throughout, so it's kind of like it's like an outside attraction, like you said, kind of with the.
Oh, look at him!
Oh wow, man, really?
That was the most boring 10 minutes of my life.
Hurt my soul. Oh.
So, all right, Jared, so have you ever been in a corn maze or corn related attraction that was good to you?
Hell yeah, 301 Devil's Playground.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But that's, like you said, it's not a corn maze like Corn Stalkers. It's
No.
like an attraction set in corn,
Right.
which is different.
There's more
Off
going
the
on
street.
than just walking through a corn maze. Jumped out going boo.
I don't make the rules, man. Like a corn maze would be like a little.
It's your show.
But look, a corn maze or a corn walkthrough would be a little 2-foot section that you just walk through corn. There's a light here, there's a light there. These are full-on sets just in a cornfield, so it's different. Like you actually enter trailers and shit in there,
Right.
to give different scenes. But the worst corn maze, and I'm so happy this is gone. Night of Terror, Creamy Yankee Farms.
It's gone.
Oh, thank God it's gone. Dude, you were either in there for 2 minutes or 27 hours.
Yeah.
And it fucked up the whole line for the rest of the night.
Was it because
It did.
people weren't walking through it, right?
You had no, it was a maze. You had to find your way out of that shit.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's bad. That's bad.
Now it's an attraction called the Harvest, which used to be good, but now they let too many people in, so it's eh. But that corn maze would trigger you. You'd either be done in 2 minutes, because it was right after the hayride, they dumped you off into this corn maze. So you're like, I learned after, because it's our closest one. I can hit a golf ball to it. I learned that you could follow the street light out. But all the other people would be trapped in there. Like, you could have a party in there for a half hour.
Gosh,
Raven corn.
that's not good for line control.
I think
No,
once
not
again,
at
Oh, back then, they did not give a shit about line control. You were waiting as long as it took.
I
We
think,
were
I
there a
think
couple nights late.
Yeah.
I need clarification here though, because Tim introduced this as corn walks, and then we went to corn mazes.
Well, what he's talking about, corn walks would be what Legend of the Fog has for corn stalkers. That's a
Okay.
corn walk.
Okay.
301 has an entire attraction. It's just
It's
in
in
corn as a
corn.
barrier.
Yeah.
The corn has nothing to do with it.
Horrible.
Right.
But like, what
Wait,
I'm
so are we
thinking, like,
saying specifically like the entire attraction is a corn walk? That
Yeah.
or that,
At corn stalkers at Legends, yeah,
okay.
okay.
So what
it's
if,
just corn.
what if corn is used to like connect a scene between?
You're thinking red vein.
I'm thinking red vein.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay,
But
then
that's kind of like what Jared's
I'm
talking
probably
about.
down for this one then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like corn stalkers is a very creepy trail through the corn, but you hear everything that's going to happen.
Okay.
That completely takes me out of everything that happens in there at Legends of the Fog. And it's not just them. A lot of people have that maze or that maze, that walkthrough.
Okay.
There's two ways that Red Vein uses corn very effectively in there, because they're on a farm, right? So they're renting property, and half of it came with corn, so they just decided to use the corn. So the two ways that I think are very effective is coming from the parking lot where like the midway and the donut trucks are and whatnot to the actual haunt is a long walk through rows of corn.
Yeah.
And they have actors sitting there waiting to rustle at, like, deliberately they're at their job is to rustle, but only at specific moments.
Or
And
they
it's-
blow like a horn or
it's
something.
very dark going from end to end. So I think that helps to like amp you up before you officially enter the haunted attraction, which is
And that's cool.
yeah. And then within the haunted attraction, when you go from, and this might change because they're doing some crazy stuff for their 10th year this year, but when we went last year, there's a section when you move from one leg of the haunt to another leg of the haunt that is rows of corn. And it is one of the best times Katie's ever been got is when they told someone to rustle, like they positioned them there to sit low to the ground or even like prone,
Yeah,
like
and I'm
military
and
style,
it's silent.
and just rustle things so that she would turn and then another guy would run across the corn in front of her,
No, it was behind me.
or vice versa.
Yeah, and the
Wow.
camera was facing the dagger, and they got the person, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know.
So it's from like when you're going from attraction to attraction, right? So you're not expecting shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun to me.
I think
Yeah.
that's genius. You need to use that dead space.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think so I think using corn as part of your like big, I guess I don't know, was it
So we're not
Yolanda who
saying we
said-
hate corn.
No.
We hate how
Yeah.
corn is
we
used.
say-
Sometimes.
That may be a better
say
way to
it's like
put
the
it. Yeah.
blackout walkthrough. Like if your only thing is one thing, then it gets tired.
Right. If it's just
Yes.
boring corn, I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want
Okay.
to get it over with.
I get that now. I thought we were like corn bad, and I was like,
No.
We're not bashing corn.
Like 301 uses it to turn their trail. It's really wide past. Like you could probably hayride through 301.
Right.
And they use it to block out all their other buildings.
Right.
It's not their attraction, it's blockage. You can't see around it.
It's like bamboo. It covers
Right.
up.
Whereas in other places, all you're doing is walking through a 1-foot corn path where you see where actors stand and you can hear where they're standing and there's a
Well,
light.
the other problem with like a corn attraction like that is, gosh, by the end of season, it's
Decimated.
your actors have trampled it all. It's dying.
Or the guests have.
Yeah. It's probably only somewhat worth it for maybe 2 weeks, and then definitely.
I'm gonna tell you what I will have to say.
Especially if you get a rainy season.
I'll have to say,
yeah.
Field of Screams up here. I don't know what the hell kind of corn they use. That stuff's strong.
Dude, they plant that shit early too.
But they also are farmers. They have another farm off site. So that's my question for the day.
And vengeful. If you get a piece low enough and it whacks you in the head as you're going through, you're like, ah.
Hey, what? You ever been cut by corn?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure, like on my cheek or nose or
that,
something.
ooh.
Brutal. What is wrong with
But they mostly use it for the hayride, so it's
it's strategically
and again,
hides
it's
corn
more of
cob
a barrier
bakers
than
and
it is
stuff,
an
too.
actual
Right.
piece of the
Yeah.
attraction.
Yep.
So
On the end, I have a question.
go for it.
Did you guys go over actors that come out of character?
Not yet, but if you want to add it, feel free.
That's one of my pet peeves. I hate actors that come out of character. Don't stay consistent, because then you just ruin the whole scene, the whole setup. You know, like you're talking to your buddy or something that's coming through. What's up, Johnny? Hey, what you doing? Hey, Bart. No, that doesn't work. It drives me nuts. That's my pet peeve.
Yeah,
Stay in character. Please.
that's a hot take.
Yeah.
She ain't wrong.
If you get wrecked like that, where you're first of all, don't go out of character while you're in scene, period. But if it's been a long while since a customer has come through and you're twerking with your friends, I've literally come up upon actors who are doing exactly that, like twerking with their friends, and they just turned around and made it part of the scene. Like when we walked in, they're like, "Come twerk with us."
Well, hey, that's creative. At least.
Yeah, I dig it.
At least they're taking it and using it to their advantage.
Yeah.
You throw some dollars and keep moving.
Right.
That's right.
Oh man.
I'm just talking about in general, where you have people going through and you start having a conversation with them, or and then the next people come behind, then you try to turn around and get in the character. It's like, okay, you've just
Like, no, you ruined it.
I just want to throw you.
Have we told you guys about the It attraction in Vegas, the escape room that we played?
No.
Aim to it.
Is that a haunt?
No, it's not a haunt. It does have
There
actors.
you go.
We were going to do that.
The It escape room, we did chapter 1. There's chapter 2 open now, but there was one point in the escape game where it's very narrative based. It's heavily reliant on
And
the
there are
IPs of the movie,
actors.
and there are actors throughout. There's a scene where we're supposed to solve a puzzle, activate a trigger, and the door opens up, and the clown comes out, Pennywise comes out, and starts pushing us forward into the next room. But we hit that trigger earlier than we were meant to through one thing or another, and the door opens.
I don't think we hit it earlier. I think we were actually taking so long. The actor was probably like, "Oh my god," and took his mask off.
The door opens. The actor's got his mask up behind his head, and he's sitting there on his phone. And
It was actually hilarious.
it was
Because the rest of the attraction was so dang good.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin it, but it was funny.
Yeah. And they actually
Now,
had
if that would have been a
animated
haunted
animatronics in
attraction,
the
then yes, I would have been kind of pissed.
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
But it was funny. But yeah,
All
don't
right.
get caught.
100%.
Don't get caught out of character.
100%.
That's right. Do your job.
Yep.
All right.
Break.
I don't think this is a hot take at all, but it's just something I've been pushing for a long time. All haunts, even bigger home haunts need a merch shop with at least hoodies.
Yeah.
Every single one.
I
And
agree.
food.
Not on my list, but I'm behind it. Yeah.
And food.
And if the food's not on site, make it within 2 minutes. Like if you got a Burger King on the corner, that's cool for me. I mean, it'd be nicer for other options, but the merch, 100%, you're losing money if you don't.
I don't know, man.
I like more pins.
The
for
Burger
me.
King on the corner, I might sometimes prefer because at least they have functional bathrooms. Most of the time, when you don't have a gift shop, you also don't have bathrooms. You have porta potties.
Yeah, it could be a take, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're missing money and free advertisement. So
Yeah.
Can I just say, sometimes the porta potties are part of the haunted attraction.
yeah,
Yes.
amen. And as many people that don't lock them.
Oh, the time you went in.
Yeah.
We're at Valley of Fear. There's a line. There's a green one there. So I walk up, I pull the green one open, and that was the first time I've seen another lady's vagina since I got married. So
How did you see her? Was she turned around aiming? Like, I don't. You opened the
she
door.
was just sitting on the toilet. I was like, okay, we'll shut that real quick.
Then.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Did it have teeth?
That's an
Has
attraction.
Dude, I didn't sit there and periscope it. I shut the fucking door.
I was gonna say, probably didn't get a good look.
Did
It was enough of a look.
Whoa, hold on.
It was, oh shit. I threw that down and I went in line to the other ones.
I think that's what I probably should lock that.
Yeah, that's
Lock the damn doors.
Lock the damn door.
Oh my
And that's not the first time that's happened. That was the first time I was fully flashed, but I've opened many that people were in.
Yeah.
I really wonder, like, why would you not lock a porta potty door?
Right.
Like,
It is unfathomable.
maybe you're exhibitionist. I don't know.
Exactly.
Trying to live on the edge.
This is pretty far
Maybe on
removed
the
from where
edge,
your
just
take
using a
started.
porta potty.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where the take started actually.
Hoodies.
Hoodies, right, that's right.
I think if you had the hoodies,
We derailed.
We derail all the time. That's what we do here.
That's right.
It should become Halloween Derailment 365.
You want to cut it off at 9, right?
Arranged.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got time.
Yeah.
All right.
Should we drop
Might not
another
take
one?
that long.
do we? Yeah, we can always start lopping off some of our less important ones too. This is I'm gonna say this is not so much a hot take in the haunt community, but would be a hot take for all customers who pay for tickets at the haunts. Drink limits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I understand.
And I completely agree, but it's not going to make a fucking difference because
No,
they're
because
coming
they're
in
going to
hammered.
tailgate.
They're gonna pregame. They're gonna. Yeah, I get it. But also, anything is something.
Hey, you're right.
Right
No,
now.
I'm down.
With the decline, and this goes right hand in hand with the porta potty thing too, because guests are the ones causing the problem 90% of the time.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
Listen, I would love to just get rid of alcoholic beverages at haunts, but we like the new sets, we like the actors, we like the money come in, so we're not going to. But so drink limit, I'm there.
Yeah.
It's easy money, but so are hoodies, man. So
They are.
get rid of drinks, add hoodies.
Now you'll make more with the drinks, though. I mean,
Yes, but also
Oh, man.
you can bulk order custom drinks. Or
I'm
sorry,
having
custom
critter
drinks.
issues right now.
Whereas you cannot.
Yeah, man. They gonna be
Bulk
cat
order
hair in my
distillery.
office. Gross.
Sorry.
My wife and daughter, they love cats. They have 4 of them. I try to keep them out of my office. Ugh.
But it's a pretty black cat.
All 4 of them are.
Oh.
How do you tell them apart?
Cat have like
Well,
a damn disease.
This one is a girl. And this one is a girl, and she's deaf, and she has a partially impaired eye. We have a long-haired boy, and he sounds like a baby when he meows. We have a very big boy that sounds like a pterodactyl when he meows.
That fool sounds like Jurassic Park.
And then we have the smallest one in the house, who's the oldest, and he's very vocal as well. So it's easy to tell them
That's how
apart.
you tell them apart.
Yes.
Simple.
And this is the only girl.
All
There
right,
you have it. There you
who
have it.
that?
The more you know.
I think Dibs Insanity's up.
Look, okay, I don't have a whole lot, but it kind of piggybacks on what we talked about earlier about
Can
people
you read that?
with their mask being off and all that. Actors who are half dressed.
Oh.
You may see they may have on this really nice mask or the makeup job could be incredible, and then regular street clothes that again don't fit the scene. I'm looking at it like, oh wow,
I know a
not a
place.
big deal, but
Yeah.
yeah, the cat is gone.
Completely agree.
I have no notes.
Consistency.
Yep.
I think it's consistency.
All right, so here's another fun one. A popular haunt does not make it a great haunt.
Very true.
Very true.
Ooh,
No argument here.
oh boy, I want to say a name so bad, but I'm not gonna.
They used to be a great haunt.
It's one not too
Oh,
far. from
I was
me.
thinking of someplace else.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, and
Yeah.
that goes to what you were just talking about before.
And I haven't even been the place y'all are talking about, but I still know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the sad part about it is, if I could write a check and buy the property, I would.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
it's set up
Stop.
perfectly. It's amazing where it looks. I just think it lost its soul.
Yep.
That kind of lends to, you can tell haunts where it's just about the money versus really about the entertainment factor of it. Like, you're worried about selling tickets and just getting tons of people
Based
in,
on the
but
name.
you're
Based
right.
on the name.
And you're not really investing in making it a really good
Damn it, my
attraction.
milkshake's gone. Oh, I'll pay the price for it later.
Yeah,
No,
advertising doesn't make your haunt better.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. I agree.
And thousands of dollars in animatronics doesn't either.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's safe to pick on Fright Fest as part of this category too.
Oh, we could destroy Fright Fest all we
Oh,
want.
yeah.
And Halloween Horror Nights for that matter, but they do certain things really well that nobody else can touch them on. Whereas I think Fright Fest has branding everywhere and really just does not.
What? I think that your advertising should advertise what you're offering.
Hot
They
take.
do. This little snippet, and this is it.
Right.
Like if you filmed your advertisement or whatnot on like a production studio and you're not actually showing off what you have.
It's false advertisement.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in this industry, you see one main actor, one or two main scenes, and the rest of it is just dead.
Yep.
And amusement parks are good for that. Unfortunately, I hate to say, at least the ones I've only been to a few amusement parks with haunts. So some of you guys have seen more than I have, but I just think
We haven't been to many.
I stopped that nonsense years ago.
Dorney was good, but their advertisement was horrible.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy the Hallow Scream at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, but I will say that the advertising, it's so generic and is completely unrelated to what they're actually putting up as houses that year. Like they'll sometimes have like 4 attractions and then they'll put the logos up. But what you'll see as ads is just like a generic stock footage or something that they shot 10 years ago of like a scarecrow slashing across the screen. It has nothing to do with what you're actually getting.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, it's like, where's the scarecrow?
Yeah, exactly.
I was promised a scarecrow.
Yeah, I want my scarecrow. No, we were really impressed with Dorney. Their entertainment and the attractions combined. I mean, they just went all out.
That was good. I
impressed.
just don't think the advertisement was good. So this is kind of the reverse. We got more than we expected in this case.
Yeah.
To do advertising for a haunted attraction that is based in an amusement park, you have to shoot it the previous year because the pop-ups are not going to gather everyone in the summertime to shoot their ads. They're going to use whatever stock footage they can find and then put the logos and prints in. And honestly, I'm surprised Halloween Horror Nights gets any real traction on their ads at all because it's generally the same thing. But they do have people who are paid to come in, and as soon as they do tryouts and get cast in the summertime, they can jump behind the sound stage and start shooting stuff. Whereas take Field of Screams, for example, because I know they do really well on social media with the ads. I get served all the time. It's exactly what you're going to get
100%.
year over year. You see, and some down to the costumes sometimes because they do recycle some of their best costumes.
because I think this has gotten better. I do think that Field was doing I'm not saying misleading advertisement, but there would be like characters and things that I'm like, I have never once seen that person there. And I'm not saying that they haven't ever been there, but now I'm starting to recognize more.
No, a couple years ago, I caught what you were saying.
Yeah. It's I think, but
I'm
you
not
and I
saying it
have
was false
seen
advertising. I was just
No,
like,
no,
who's
no, no.
that person?
But we've seen, and granted, that because we've been backstage, which most people won't get to do, we've seen
Sure.
costumes that were used in that ad. We've seen
Yeah,
them hanging on the
perhaps,
shelf.
yeah.
We know they're there, and an actor could jump
Oh
in
yeah.
at any time. But we have, I mean, at least at Field, you're getting an accurate representation of the attractions.
I would agree.
I would agree with that.
Whose turn is it?
It's
Probably
yours.
you.
Oh, me? Okay. I have one, but I have to ask a question first.
Uh-oh.
I gotta ask our amusement park people in the house.
Answer's always going to be yes.
So Dark Nights at Hershey Park puts on 8 houses, right?
No.
It was
6
six.
houses?
It was
5.
5 last year. It was
I was gonna
4
say.
every year.
Okay. So 5 houses. When does construction start?
It's done. So construction, they brought in an outside contractor to help them build the houses, and now the houses stay backstage in areas where guests don't usually go. So the construction
So they can leave 6 houses up in Hershey without disrupting their summer,
Yeah.
5, but yes.
Yeah.
and
They
they're
changed them.
they're long enough to be worth going.
I would say so. I mean, the cost is also not prohibitive. Where
No, it's a great deal. I'm not shitting on Hershey, but I saw that because I haven't been to Hershey, so I can't say anything about it. I don't know. My question was because I know they're on the Haunt Tour, and it wasn't adding up to my brain. Like, how are you doing East Coast Haunt Tour when you're not built?
yeah, it's because they
I
might
don't know.
add another house later this year, or they might do some major changes to the houses that will be different in September that are not going to be as different in April.
So they kept them up after last
They
year.
kept the houses, and they kept them up all last year too when they
Yeah.
were
Okay.
on the tour.
So
like,
to me, that is more of a choice to go because we all know how tear down, bring up, tear down, bring up. You never get to grow because
Yep.
all the work is putting it back on.
yep, exactly.
So now that might be worth the look this season.
This
Right.
was
Plus, I
almost-
like Hershey Park. It's fun.
Yeah, I haven't been in forever.
If you're going, let me know because we're only 35 minutes away, 40, roughly.
Yeah, it's our
We're
home
not far
park.
away.
We're an hour and 20, but we make that drive all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep it. You know, this season's crazy with Pittsburgh, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, this might be
Yeah.
one year where we go and we're not able to vlog it just because of how much else we want to do. But if we go, it will go. It'll just be a thing we do on a Sunday night sometime.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What was your question? I know that wasn't it.
So my hot take was I didn't understand why it was there if they weren't built, but they're built. So good, cool.
I had the same question when I saw it on there because what I didn't know was like how because I thought a lot of these involved like putting actors in and you doing a walkthrough. I didn't know if they were like all behind the scenes tours or whatnot.
Some with the convention tours, some are not active.
Okay.
And that's why I always push Terror Tours because it's during the season you get
Right.
the show. Whereas like Legendary is so late in the season, you're gonna lose actors before they come. And like that's the big major haunt tour. But it's expensive for us to go. So I want the full show, so I'm with Troy on Terror Tours. And the East Coast, like they went through Legends of the Fog during the day.
Yeah.
Ooh,
To me, that's not fun. Like I'm not spending that money without a show.
I can do that anytime.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
and like that's why I was like Dark Knights. Maybe they're just going to Hershey Park for the day. I don't know.
I mean, you could also do that and get your money's worth, but for the
Right.
haunt, the specific haunt,
And that's why I was intrigued because it was $60 to go all day to the park and then to the haunt. It's like a no-brainer.
Well,
Yeah.
look,
I don't know if
just-
they'll fill the houses with actors, but they could because they have contractors that would come in.
But
the
But
house-
with the East Coast and Midwest, they don't necessarily have to. Sometimes they just don't.
the houses
It becomes a walkthrough.
Yeah. So that with that it's ready to go. I just assumed these were all like limited like because that's why.
Without context, I would have too. Yeah.
I would, because I think when Laurel was on the tour last year, like they did have actors in
Yeah.
there when they went through. So I was like, how is Dark Knight's going to do that? They're going to get.
They might not. Yeah.
And yeah, once I learned that, I was like, oh yeah. But so I think it's understandable confusion, especially if you don't realize that they're built. It's not like, I mean, Halloween Horror Nights has to start building like in June or whatever. And they rebuild it every single year. But ever since the first year at Dark Nights, they've just been standing. And there's probably like things they have to move and set up.
Well, I was gonna say the pattern thus far has been every year they have the houses they've had prior and they add one. They won't be able to keep that pace up forever because there's only so much space.
Right. Because like I don't know Hershey that well to know the space, but I know Six Flags. There ain't no fucking way you're keeping that open during the summer.
Nope.
There's no room.
Hershey is landlocked, man. They need to expand in there. Landlocked, unfortunately. There's no way.
Well,
for
that's
them
why
to
we're
go.
losing the Skyview to get the swing.
I don't know like what they gave up, but a few of the areas they gave up were like catering areas.
Oh, okay.
Like
They were
a
family areas and
pavilion
such.
that people could rent out for like a big group. And now they're just kind of taken over with Dark Knight stuff, which I think they realize like, hey, we make more money on Dark Knights than we do on catering packages. So
there's still a couple.
And there's still other
areas,
places to do it, but.
Hey, just a quick note. Since you talked about Terra-Tours, Jared, we need to make sure folks follow the links, follow the social media for Terra-Tours.
Yep.
Please follow it.
All the haunts have been locked down. Announcements will be made soon.
Can you actually buy tickets now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We went last year, and we were looking at which tour to do, and Terry and Jared, they said, well, check out Terra-Tours and Troy, and we did. And I'm gonna tell you, that thing was so well organized. I mean,
we had a blast.
We
that
had
inaugural
so well done.
Blast from on the bus, even though the bus had a funky smell. Who cares? But that was amazing. I mean, to get that many haunts in with a bunch of cool haunt heads.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Giveaways.
Highly considering it this year.
That was well worth it.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the tickets to get posted so we can get them.
Yep.
We're strongly considering. It's mostly a matter of figuring out how to get content out of it without rubbing any haunt owners the wrong way, which is something we can work out on our own time. But it's something we really want to do.
I can't wait. I mean, we have so much between both of us. I mean, just work and life. It's just busy, but we're definitely going to try to make sure we get that in. So check it out, guys, if you have not.
And Pittsburgh's got a lot of cool shit to see.
Never been.
Me neither. I've been there for work, but I never stopped there.
We went just
also,
to go.
Honestly, we found out the other day it's really not that far from Swallow Falls State Park, the tallest free-falling waterfall in Maryland.
Oh.
So if you take a long weekend and you want to do something fun and the haunts aren't for you, come to Terra-Tours and enjoy the vibes and then go see the waterfall.
Yeah, and the thing with Terra-Tours is you don't have to hang out with them during the day. You can, or you can go do your thing.
For the bus at night.
Just make sure you're at the hotel for that bus loading.
There you go.
Yep, just
or on your head be it.
All right, so that was my hot take, but which wasn't a hot take, but I learned stuff.
We're gonna start dropping some stuff off.
Go for it.
Talk about the louder one. That's a good one.
We can do it. We can do it. Do your hot take then.
Oh, I said louder isn't always better or scary. Like, I think there's areas where silence is scary or it being quiet, or I don't know.
Right.
I'm not gonna name anything, but I do think there's a place that we go to quite frequently. It's really turned up the volume, and I'm not sure it's doing them favors, to be honest.
Okay.
Speaking
I think
of,
it's a broad statement though, because in general I have found that like silence builds tension, or not even silence, but just like ambient, like low drones can help build tension where you might otherwise have more of the blackout bass experience. And if you add, 17 subwoofers and start cranking the volume up as high as it can go, like, one, it's overstimulating to some, which can be a turnoff to some of your potential bass, but also it winds up taking some of that tension out of the experience.
Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Not to say you can't have loud noises in a haunt
Yeah, like
to make it affect. Like
they
the air
do
horn's
work.
always going to get you, no matter where it is.
And I
But
love soundscaping, but if the soundscaping is so loud, I don't know. I want to
It
be
almost defeats
part
the
of the
purpose.
things I like about haunts are interactions with actors.
True.
And if you can't hear their skit lines, then what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Right. It is a balance
Yeah.
to be maintained. I agree.
Yeah.
I think
You know, it's funny you said that about the skit lines and the sound. The other thing to add to that is the actors just screaming in your ear.
Oh, I hate it.
Right.
That
Should have put it on the list.
that's one of my pet peeves. You scream in my ear and I just want to throat punch you. I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It just agitates me rather than.
I think that falls under louder isn't always better.
Yeah.
Right,
I agree.
exactly. That's
It
why I
does.
said when you
Be
said
the soundscaping,
Well,
it can be
right.
the actor screaming. Like there, I think it's scarier when they get up. I don't see them getting up close, and it's a little whisper.
Woo!
Yeah.
Like, right,
Yeah.
a little whisper to me goes a way farther than screaming in my ear.
That was like when we were in Canada. We were in that blackout area, and the guy came up and whispered in my ear,
You see, that was scary.
and that freaks me out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will
I
also
probably
say
remember
this
that.
is particularly of note for haunts where contact is not part of the deal, because if someone can grab you, that adds a lot to the experience on its own, and you can do that in loud environments. In fact, I would almost say in those environments, having a louder overall ambient sound makes it harder for you to know when someone's sneaking up behind you to grab your ankles. But at haunts where you can't do that, you need to be able to hear the actors clearly in order for them to deliver an effective scare.
Right.
Where I'm at with this, it has to fit the scene.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of crazy shit going on, I want to be blasted to the fucking floor with the music. If it's a little creepy hallway, a little something going on, a little something. It has to match the scene. Like if it's an intense scene, I want those woofers. I want everything to hit me in the face. But if you do that through the entire haunt, like Katie said, it's not better.
Yeah.
Right.
But for me, it's scene specific.
Right.
What haunt was it? Does anyone know that used to end with like a rock concert? Like you walk in and it's a bunch of skeletons playing, or and not like the Home Depot animatronics, but like I heard or saw pictures of a haunt, and I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. The finale was like a rock concert with actual musicians playing, and
It might have been House of Shock because a musician owned that. But I've never been there.
Right, but I cannot confirm or deny.
Yeah.
Because now it's Las Vegas Nightmare. No, New Orleans Nightmare.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
That might.
But yeah, I could see how it could be, because too loud in some scenes is just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
But like then you have it's not really a sound, but pitch black. That high pitched rumble is part of the attraction, and it would not be the same without it.
No.
It makes you more confused and disoriented.
Basically, it's some kind of note that they drum over high-powered speakers that makes your chest shake. So it completely freaks you out.
Right. No. I was in front of you one time.
Never again, right?
Never again. You almost knocked out your wife.
Disoriented and overstimulated are two very different vibes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But like if the scene is to overstimulate, I want the pounding, I want the 4D. But if the scene is a little walk through like, a fogged out neighborhood, maybe a little footstep ambience noise, maybe like a cab sound, something like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. We don't need rock music every step.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, again, not saying anything. Like, I do think that the haunt that I was referring to does do really good soundscaping. I don't know. I'm also getting older, and
you're getting crankier. It's okay. We all are.
I'm like, dang, it's kind of like I made the point in our live stream last week. If I get off a coaster and I feel like crap afterwards, I'm not going to love that coaster. If I finish a haunt walkthrough, my ears are ringing and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I I still may have enjoyed it, but I'm like, oh, there's some
See,
recovery time
and I
here.
also feel this way about Halloween Horror Nights. I feel like everything's turned up too loud. At
Oh,
Halloween
that
Horror
I
Nights.
could definitely.
Because that's exactly what I experienced
But they
walking out of
turn
the
it
houses.
up-
I'm like, oh,
But they
okay, now
turn
I
it
can
up
hear
so
it.
loud because any lines that are spoken are on an audio clip that you
Yes.
can hear. So
Yep. So it
Ew.
doesn't even matter for them for you to be able to hear the actors because
Mhm.
the actors aren't saying anything, which
Right.
problem unto itself.
Yep.
Sims and Sandy, you got any left?
Uh,
I only got one left, so don't feel bad.
I got one, and it's not a major issue for me. Major issue, but it's an issue. I think bad lighting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because there's certain places as you're walking through doing what we all do, some things I want to see. Site builders take all these days and hours, weeks building sets rather, and they're not lit enough for you to be able to see them. And I think people would enjoy some scenes more if they could see more of them.
And the biggest culprit we've seen of that lately was on Terror Tours. It was our first stop.
Yo, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because they had really good scenes,
Couldn't see a damn thing.
shittily lit, and the bad scenes overexposed. What are you doing? You did all that work to dress it. Show it off. We need it in here.
We talked about that. Yep.
We had that in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It was
So
like
your
the
Jersey
thunder.
girl said it in all those syllables.
That's Jersey girl pride and true right
That's
there.
Nolans.
But she's right. We went to the mortuary, and it was a beautiful... I mean, guys, it's an 1800s mortuary. And it's set. It's beautiful. They have this whole living room set, but you couldn't see it because they lit it with lightning. So you could see it every, minute and a half.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a disappointment.
If you want to do the lightning, it's cool, but send it off every 20 seconds so we can see the room.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, you have to consider is you have haunt enthusiasts such as us who really have a great respect for the sets and the design and the makeup and the artistry of it. And then you have, Joe Blow and the teenagers that want to act like idiots and just want to go through and scream and whatever, and they don't care. So it's like, okay, you need to find the happy medium to cater to the young and dumb that just want to run through, and those of us who really appreciate the artistry of it. There's a middle area.
Haunts are not really built in general to cater to people like us. And sometimes they do, but most not.
I disagree because, well, I disagree to a point. As we were discussing previously, you can tell those who are in it for just the money and those who are in it because they love what they do and they love what they bring to the industry. Those, yes, their artistry, their makeup, their set design, they appreciate that we appreciate it.
And let me just give a quick shout out. And I have to, because I have to be fair here. I want to give a big shout out to Kim's Crypt, because they did some things in some rooms that in all my years of running through haunted houses, I have never seen anybody do.
She did.
And the lighting, they were lit in a way that you could really stop, take a second, and look at it. So, Kim, good luck on that. Shout out.
We haven't been there in a while.
Kim's, you guys would enjoy Kim's if you haven't been there yet, because it's a mix of new and old.
Yes.
And
if you're going, that's in our backyard too.
It is. Let us know. We'll meet you.
It's a great mix of new and old.
It's about 35 minutes that way. So, and then Field of Screams is about the same amount, maybe a little bit less that way.
And then Hershey.
Good setup.
We're centrally located.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really believe that those who really love the industry.
We want to see some of it.
Right. We want to see. So there are those who appreciate when we can give that kind of feedback on how well the artistry is, how well the set is, how well the makeup is. But there are some that just, I don't think they get it. They're just like, okay. And it kind of leads to, they're probably the ones that were more about the money versus those who, they're
Our
like,
haunters.
what did you think? What did you think? Where do you think we should change? That they want your feedback as enthusiasts and reviewers. They want to know. But then you have, they don't really care. Those people over there, they just want ticket money.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably my last one, maybe.
All right, we're gonna let Tim and Katie reel off a few because we got about 40 minutes left.
We'll cut it down.
20 minutes left. 20 minutes left.
20
I
minutes.
I forgot how to count.
I go take care of some.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, Yolanda.
Thanks, Easter Bunny.
We'll cut our list down. I was gonna say.
No, you're fine. We got time.
Not this much time.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, we'll bring one up.
All
then.
right. So this is a smaller problem in our area than I think it might be industry wide, but I think the industry needs to get on the same page about what the word extreme means across the board.
Agree.
I agree.
Because I've seen haunts advertised where intensity ranges from we're going to throw water on you every once in a while to we're going to tie you to a board and waterboard you and then zap you with tasers. Like, that's a wide range for the word extreme. Then you have like one-night events like Extreme Blackout at Field of Scream, which is somewhere in between. And I think it's appropriate for what they do there because it's a bit more intense than what they normally do. But if there could be some industry-wide consistency so that people don't sign up for an extreme haunt thinking they're getting one thing and wind up signing a waiver for something very different.
Maybe like a rating system.
Yeah.
Like,
No, just you can't use the word extreme unless you're going extreme. That's all they have to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I like
It's
that.
it's like certain people make thumbnails that say America's Scariest Haunt, and it's on 17 haunts.
yeah.
Boy, there's some things I could say, but I'm not. So,
But you're right, because there is extreme haunts, and I don't care for them at all, because
But that's you that don't care for them. The
Yeah,
other,
there's some people who
oh,
are really-
you're doing them?
no.
Okay.
But I'm saying, like,
damn, that was quick.
And I've done them. I don't mind them. It's just I'm more about the art than the extreme.
What's that one in LA that
17th door.
is it that one? I thought it was. I think there's another one too where someone was like, I got basically assaulted every time I turned a corner. Someone
Is that
came at me
McCamey?
buck ass naked and
You don't say that name on this channel, fucker.
fucker.
He actually said the name. I don't think I've ever said that name on this channel.
Well, there it is. 2 points for me. Rah,
Man,
rah.
way to go, Tim.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my
I don't know.
Well, now he's locked up and basically almost killed his girlfriend. So I don't think we're going to hear that name much more anymore. So goodbye.
Good riddance.
AOL. Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, moving right along.
I've
Go ahead.
got the one that I mentioned.
Okay.
So as someone who is perfectly able-bodied, I realize I may not be the best person to bring this up, but I've noticed that there's kind of a lack of accessibility in most haunted attractions.
To an extent, I would agree.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think most
Sometimes
places.
you can't. Like sometimes,
and I'm
when
not
you're-
saying that everything needs to get torn down and made accessible for everyone, because that will take away some of the, attractions and whatnot, and make them, not as scary or make them not able to do what they're going to do.
Okay.
But I do think that maybe there could be room in the industry to get creative and maybe make some attractions that someone with a wheelchair or that has to walk with canes or I am in the industry and I cannot remember what they're called, but something that helps them.
No.
Wow.
I completely agree if it can be done.
Yes.
Like, I think if you're in a spot where there's no excuses, you should have to be ADA.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the city ones, where it's just
Well, there is one in the city that is ADA, but that's
we're
the
getting
only
to
one.
the
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
There, yeah. So
the only
Lincoln
one I
Mill
know.
is 100% ADA,
Okay.
and you're right because they should follow, and anyone in that kind of model should have to follow that. But there's no way you're ever getting a wheelchair on Reaper's Revenge.
I mean, you're not getting a
Or
wheelchair.
a field.
think through field, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, at least with like,
Or praying.
if you're able to transfer and be comfortable enough, you might be able to participate in the haunted hayride or something like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
Right.
Which is why I think there should always be a place for hayrides, even if they're not that scary. But it's just something that I've thought about. I mean, you know, and even us people who are, you know, able-bodied.
Why couldn't they use like one of those airport things at a haunt?
Yeah.
You strap them on in the parking lot. Not to be rude, but you strap them in at the parking lot, drive them to the hayride, put them on the hayride.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If they fit my fat ass on a plane on a wheelchair, we can, you know.
Well,
Right. There should be
this
something.
bullet came about because we were literally thinking, like, damn, good thing Jared was rolling around the wheelchair in April and not in October, because that would have cut his
Oh, he
haunted
would have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I would have been going to more by myself.
Yep.
Yeah. It, you know, not trying to, you know, call anyone out and
No. But if it's capable, why not try?
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some
Good
really
idea.
creative, really smart, really just driven people in the industry, and I think it's possible that there could be more, because I just feel I'm like there's got to be, you know, spooky haunt enthusiasts out there that are missing
And
out.
there are. I know Reapers has worked on things
Yeah.
because Todd has a few friends that want to come through, but there's just no way at this moment. But they've been brainstorming.
Yeah. So
And I'll be impressed if they do that. That terrain is basically Markov's.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's tough. But, like, on the other side, Lincoln Mill, Jared and Brian, they made it a point to make it wheelchair accessible.
Yeah.
They fully tested it. They sent a group of 8 wheelchairs through
Yeah.
multiple times and never had an issue.
Really?
Yeah, they tested it hardcore before they ever opened.
Yeah.
And that was a team rushing the gun to open. Like, their story's insane of how they opened.
Yeah.
And they were able to do it.
really good. The
Yeah.
YouTube channel
Yep.
that they posted the whole mini series on. Yeah.
And that's a good hot take. Look at you, Katie.
Shout out Lincoln Mill. They were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Yep. Didn't cross my mind.
Jared, is your last bullet a good closer? Because I got one more I can throw at you.
I'm just saying I'm over the hillbilly scene.
Oh, okay. Well, go. You go ahead. I'll close then.
This will be
Yeah, I'm really just over the hillbilly scene. Everyone's had one. It's done. They're fun, but I want more. I want more of a story. Hillbillies don't scare me. I grew up around them.
It's easy to say until you're in a Hills Have Eyes situation.
Right.
I don't put myself in that situation, so I mean,
Nobody means to.
well,
You just
I
take a
take
wrong
preventative.
turn.
Yeah, I don't take wrong turns.
I could probably live without the hillbilly stuff too.
I cannot confirm or deny, but I think I've heard that Field is making some changes to the.
I heard hillbillies was getting an update.
It was getting an update.
I don't know if that means
I don't think it's being gutted,
gutted.
but I think it is getting an update because I think it is the piece of the hayride that more
That's one
often
of
than
the
not
oldest
people
pieces.
felt
Right.
was
I
dragging.
don't. I think also just compared to like the impressive scenes that are in the other, it's a little.
It's
I
the
think-
dated one now.
Yeah.
I got one small one after you're done, Tim. So go for it.
Okay, well, mine is probably in line with everything else we've said tonight, which is that Haunt should, in our opinion, Haunt should have consistent theming and or narrative throughout. Because for us, the story and the world building is part of it. It's not just we're going to have people scream in our faces or try to get us with air horns coming around the
Share the
corner.
same.
It's also like the reason that there's so much overlap between the theme park community and the haunt community is because the overall pursuit and the overall passion is exactly the same. We want to be immersed in what you're selling us. We
Yeah.
want to step out of our own world and into yours for however long the attraction lasts. And I feel like it's harder to do that when you go from, I'm pulling something out of thin air, so I'm not talking about any particular haunt, but let's say we go from a circus to like a swamp in like half a second, like one right into the other. Like
Yeah.
you can make it make sense, but a lot of times it doesn't. A lot of times it's just a grab.
Right.
So I feel like the best haunts are the ones that, yes, they have their icons. Most haunts do, but also the icons make sense for the haunt. And take Penhurst as an example. Everything flows seamlessly from one to the next to the next.
And it all makes sense.
They
It
tell
all
an
makes
overall
sense.
story.
Yep.
So even when, like, as our experience was, like, we hit them on a time when not every scene had a plethora of actors, we were still very immersed in the story throughout. And we enjoyed the whole ride from start to finish.
Yeah. I think Lincoln Mill does this really well too.
They do.
And the fact that the only time we've been there was during their special Star Wars night, and we still picked up on the overarching story of Lincoln Mill through the lens of Star Wars. Like they do it.
We're gonna fix that this season.
Yeah, we're doing it. We're coming back.
But yeah, I
we
mean,
still picked up on it.
Some haunts do this really, really well. Some haunts just don't. And I feel like it's a lot of the same thing Yolanda's talking about, where you can tell when it's just for the money, and other times you can tell when we're trying really, really hard to tell a story, and you walk away talking about one of many things, but it's all inside this story.
I'll go back real quick, just quickly, to say that's one of those things that I had to tip my hat to Carlos at Harris,
Right?
Because whether it's 2 attractions he has open or 3, each one is its own entity.
Yep.
It's completely themed properly. Music fits. It's its own separate thing. And I think, and he does it. It can be done and done well. I just think more people need to get on that bandwagon.
Yep. Completely agree.
All right, what's your
home,
what's your
Jared.
closer?
All right, my closer is for Reaper's Revenge and Reaper's Revenge only. I want the fucking boom back.
Oh, the boom from the
Betty. Betty's not booming
Yeah.
anymore.
why?
I don't know why. I don't work there.
Betty's not booming.
Ah.
Dumb.
Dude,
I wonder if
there's a cannon on this. I think it's on the hayride, right, Tim?
I believe so,
You
yeah.
hear this
It
across
shakes
the
the ground.
fucking mountain.
was
It is
shakes
awesome.
Yep.
It's a giant explosion,
There's got to be a reason.
but Betty's not booming. That boom it's not overly loud. It's more
It
vibrate.
shakes.
It's
Yeah.
powerful.
It feels
It's like
coming out of the ground. It's so damn.
yes, yeah. And it would go off like every time a cart went past there. So you would hear it when you were in line. You would hear it you would hear it warming up when you're there with the tickets. It was a part of Reapers. It didn't go off last year. I was upset.
So was it just that weekend you were there, or did you confirm that it wasn't happening?
I've completely forgot to talk to Todd about this, but I will before the start of the season.
That thing, I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, the hell was that? I'm looking
Uh-huh.
like, I thought somebody had dropped something like
Yeah.
major.
Because they didn't turn it on until they were done the behind the scenes tour. So then when we're all, chilling in the midway, relaxing, getting interviews, talking to staff, and boom, like, what the? Did we just have an earthquake? And then Todd gets all excited. He's like, oh, they're firing her up. But yeah, it's so. And Frightland used to have the rifle in the Western world.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, just a 22 going off. Scare the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That's gone.
I'll bring my own if need be.
We don't need that, though. We're good.
Tim's always got her back.
But we did it. We had a
Got
hard stop at 9. We got a lot of controversial points out there. Me and Tim will continue fighting on haunted attractions and what's not a haunted attraction, but that fight will go on forever.
Put it in writing, man. Judge everything by the same scale. Argument will be done. I'll be like, okay, we can agree on this. Let's go rate everything.
And are we allowed to announce we're going to Transworld next year, or
Yes.
it's your birthday week? I'm waiting on you.
I want to go.
We'll be at Transworld next year.
Don't worry, she does too. So
Yeah, the videos
It's my
killed me
birthday
this year.
weekend.
Yeah, the FOMO is always real.
It struck chords. There was so much cool, and it wasn't even just like because animatronics and me whatever, but it was like everyone together. It's like all our family
Yeah.
is in St. Louis right now. Like the 40 families we have, they're all there, and I'm sitting here being an asshole.
It's always too early in the year for us. That's what kills us. Is that
Next year it is March 26th.
Oh, it's later next year.
Yeah.
It's usually later. They got screwed this year.
Oh.
But March for our purposes is still a little
27, something like that.
It kills us. It's
I hear you.
Oh.
But yeah, so while we wrap this up, Carlos from Harrow's Nightmare,
Congratulations.
huge congratulations.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm
Could have
clapping.
called it.
You won't be able to see me clap on a podcast, so I have to make it loud enough.
Oh, nobody listens. Everyone watches, so don't worry about it. What
He's
else?
got a broken hand, but he's clapping in his heart.
Oh yeah, Tim's always glad. I want to thank you guys for coming on in this last minute idea that I stole from Tim and Katie.
Inspired by TimAndKT.
Yes.
Oh no, I stole it. I'll straight up admit it. It's fine. We all steal shit.
It's a reboot.
I'm going to steal it too.
Everyone's
I'm going to
doing
do it at some point. So
Yeah.
it might
We-
invite you all back. How about that?
Yeah. Reunion.
we do have our 10-year live show. 10 years, Tim.
Damn, I'm not that old.
10 years. Me and her are going to be doing a 10-year show where we're going to hand out 100 of these links and just keep bringing people in, kicking them out, bringing people in. Just like Q&A. Maybe it's right before East Coast when we're going to do it, so we'll talk about that. But we're going to hand out a bunch of links and just have pure pandemonium in here.
That sounds fun.
Yep. And we got a giveaway coming.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to go over that on the live show. Very easy to enter. Maybe you guys will win that one since I won yours accidentally.
I probably have more in the pool than we will, so
But yeah, and we're either going to Field or Brighton.
Yeah.
Probably Field.
That's where we're
yeah.
trying to be.
We bought tickets, so we're going to Field.
Yeah.
What for next week? Whatever.
Or
it is?
yeah,
Patty's.
Patty's.
15th, yeah.
Dang it! I swear I'm gonna miss it, but
And there's only 2 open.
No,
I'm
there's
excited.
more.
Who else is open?
I think there's more.
I know one's open that I'm just not going to.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'll be at. It will be at down in Manassas at a woodworking convention because, it's kind of what I do in my spare time. So
Yep. But yeah, then we got halfway where a lot of them are
A
open
lot
at
of
different
them.
times.
Some are
That's
open
fun.
May,
We're
some are
kinda
June.
counting on that because we got a trip smack in the beginning of May when
Yeah.
many of them are open. So trying to catch the ones on the back end.
I gotcha. You going anywhere fun? Do you want to transpose or no?
It's a family reunion, so the
yeah.
vlogs will be limited, but we're
It's a
going to Tennessee
Pigeon
for
Forge, Tennessee.
Oh, I like
Oh,
Pigeon
that's-
Forge.
There's a hop there.
there is. It's a year
Yeah.
now.
There is.
Moxley's Manor or something like that, right?
Hit it. Yep.
Yeah.
Get our money.
There's a good Titanic museum there too.
There is.
Yeah. That's
There's
that's
also
on our-
Dollywood, which is probably
Yep.
the best known attraction in the area. I mean, we're gonna do a lot. We're gonna hopefully bring some videos back, but might
Nice.
not be as many as you would expect from a Tim and Katie vacation.
Yeah, well, you got to do family shit too.
Yep.
All right, but I'm gonna end this,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for watching Halloween Haunts 365. We're out every Monday and every day in the haunt season, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Bye.
Bye.
bye, guys.